drills. That's the part that I don't put on YouTube. I should, and I'm going to. I'm going to show you how I practice from start to finish. And we're going to go over it. I didn't want to do it before because I thought it would bore people. But if you're here watching pull instruction videos, you're trying to learn stuff. And some of it's not real exciting, but it's absolutely necessary. So I've rethought my whole, my whole concept and what I'm trying to do here, and I really am trying to help you. This ain't for my ego. If it was, believe me, there's other videos to make on YouTube that will stroke my ego and make me money and all that crap. If you doubt that, I have almost 1,000 videos now, right? 500 of them are pulling billiards videos, instruction videos. Of all 1,000 of those videos, and you look at the top 30 money makers and ones that got the most views, there's not a pull video in that top 30. So you can rest assured this ain't about money. Alright? It's about me wanting to help you. It's about me getting older and reaching back and using all my experience to help somebody else, especially players that are good and are struggling to get out of the plateau between good and great. That's what this is all about. I don't do pull drills, not in the sense, not in a militant sense of, somebody wrote a book and they put a pull drill in there. And I will dial in some things that I might be struggling with or worried about. And I don't know if you would categorize it as a drill. And I've actually put a few on YouTube. The Brumback Drill, the JD Drill, Billiards University Drill, which was not mine, it's theirs. And I'm all about playing, and while I'm playing, keying in on something I did wrong or I could be better at. That's how I practice. Pulls should be something that people enjoy, and the problem with most drills is they use too many balls and it takes too long to set them up. And so, I don't want to set up balls on dots all day. At the same time, I'm not opposed to them. I mean, if you just go out and play and play and play and don't do any practice at all, your progress is going to be limited because you're not going to catch the things that you're doing wrong. And even if you do catch them, you're not going to work on them. So, I mean, you have to work on what's broken. But I don't think the answer to that is drills. Not for me. This ain't my thing, And a lot of people are under that assumptions of where, they're just going to go out and play and hang out at the bar with their friends and just play some more and keep playing and play every day. And eventually they'll get good, and that's how you get good, and that's not true. You'll get better, but it'll be limited when your progress could be a whole lot quicker. Let me dig up some of my old drills videos, and some, again, aren't really drills, but I'll show you a few good ones, and then I'll show you what I do today, and that's not saying you should do it or not. You might want to try it. I think your progress will be quick. See, I don't know, because I'm not you, and we're all, you know, a little bit different in how we learn. So the drill videos actually get a lot of views, and that's why they're popular. I could, you know, I could fill up my YouTube channel with like drill videos in it, and I would get a lot more views. Ain't gonna do it. No, because, you know, I publish videos, but I'm also having fun. I like to publish videos. I mean, why take the fun out of it from both of us? Because that's what you're looking for. Probably not going to be your favorite creator. I published this and many other drills back in June 2016, and just throw a ball out to the center table and shoot it into the corner pocket. And it doesn't have to be straight in unless you're working on your draw stroke or your follow stroke or your stop shot. The main objective here is to work on your stroke, and to also work on your basics, like getting down on the ball, following through on the cue ball, your aiming, your vision, your bridge, things like that. And you have to shoot it semi-hard because it's so far away from the pocket. But that also, you know, loosens you up a little bit and gets out any nervous tension before a tournament. And if you continually make it, it will also build your confidence. And I named it the JD drill, although I'm not the first person to shoot this shot over and over again. I just dubbed it the JD drill because I don't even know what to name it. And again, that's from June 2016. And this is a position drill that the day before I was in a tournament, and I got behind that center ball, so I got bad on the following ball and simply could not run out. So the following day I worked on getting around that center ball and getting the right position on the 8, 9, and back on the 10. So it's all about avoiding that while still getting an angle, a little bit of an angle on the 8. But mostly it's about avoiding that 10 ball in the center. This was also published in June 2016. And I named it the position drill. There ain't much to it. You could easily scratch on this shot. You can easily bag into the center ball like I did. And you can easily get straight in, which you don't want to do on this shot. Also from June 2016, this one is called the Derby Drill, although, you know, it's not really a drill. I'm just keying in on one specific bank shot here. And it is named the Derby Drill because this is a shot that won John Brumback the Derby City Banks tournament, and I believe it was 2015. And John's long been my favorite banks player of all time, really. And he also plays great 9-ball. He's just an all-around great player, and he's a great person. So you'll hear me talking about John in a couple of videos down the road here. But yeah, this is a Derby drill, and it's just one shot over and over. It's a little bit tricky. You have to put outside English on it, so you have to be aware that cue ball is going. The cut shot drill isn't really about the shot. It's about getting around that 10 ball again and getting on the right place on the 8 to get on the 9. So it's easier said than done. It's real easy to bang into this 10 ball or go too far down the table. And I have all these from June because that was right when I decided to make this video playlist, the pool playlist. And what happened was I had a whole stockpile of about 50 or 60 videos ready to go. So I published all of them at the same time on June 18th and June 19th. So I just published a boatload of videos, and most of them don't have any commentary or any graphics at all. It's just me playing pool because I was making room on my computer. And plus I figured, well, I play a lot of pool, let's make some pool videos. So that's what happened there. I didn't make all these videos in the same day or two. I published them all in the same day or two. And yeah, this is a tricky little shot. The cut's not hard, but the problem is getting the right position on the 8-ball. That last shot right there was about it right there. This is the last one from June 2016, and it's the Moscone drill. Not Moscone Cup, but actually Willie Moscone, who put this drill in one of his books, and it works great. And I added to it by getting the right angle on that last ball to get back down the table on the 10. In his drills, that 10 ball was not in the video. It was just those 4 balls and hitting them over and over and over to get the right position on the following ball. It's a good drill to practice, and Willie recommended it. He's not going to steer you wrong, and he did what he could for you. Alright, this is called the Brumback Drill, and I published this in November of 2016. And as I said, I've been a long-time fan of John Brumback way before he got a little bit famous, and used to travel to tournaments just to watch him play. And so he was at a tournament or at a match like 20 minutes earlier. Nobody was on the table, so I wanted to see what he did when he was warming up for a match. And this is the shot he did over and over. He must have shot it 200 times just consistently for that 20 minutes, just over and over and over the same Brumback shot. And it's quite intimidating to see if you're his opponent. You know, if you're John Brumback, you're ready to play, let's go. So I went home and I'm like, well, who am I to argue with success? And I started doing it. I haven't stopped doing it since then. I use this shot to dial in the table if I never played on the table. I use it to get any nervous tension out of me. I use it to dial in my stroke, and I use it to just get mentally and physically prepared. I mean, you have to shoot the shot somewhat harder, so it helps getting, any wobbles out of your stroke, and you have to shoot it straight. And it's particularly great for dialing in the speed of the pool table and the routes. And I have like 3 or 4 videos. They didn't do incredibly well, but I have published this over and over on the internet, trying to get people to do this, to dial in a new table and get ready for the match. Billiards University drill. This isn't mine, this is theirs. I also published this in November 2016, and I added a couple of beginning balls to it, mainly to get the right position on that 5 ball that you see in front of the side pocket. To get the right position on that 6 ball to go 3 rounds back on the 7, then back down table on the 8 ball and go 3 rounds again on the 9 ball. So it's all about those 3 round shots. That would be the first one. And now you're just trying to get right on that 8 ball, so you're just going straight back up the table, but you have to be conscious of the angle you want on that 8 ball to go 3 rounds again back on the 9 ball. It's a great drill to practice. The long game drill, this is all about angles and getting the right angles. So there you see me shooting the 1 in the opposite corner, there's the 2 in the opposite corner, that's a 3, and then the opposite's the 4. So you see the odd balls are up table and the even balls are down table. And it's not about getting close to the ball, it's about getting the right angle on the ball to get the right angle on the following ball. So forget trying to get close. It's all about shooting long shots. And this is important because it eliminates your urgency on getting close to balls. And often when we're trying to get close to balls is when we get bad position on the ball. So it's more about getting the right angle and less with getting close to balls. In fact, on this drill, you don't want to be close to balls. You want that long shot, and that's when you start figuring out, well, really, it doesn't matter the distance that I am on the ball. What matters is the angle that I'm on. So you have to make that a priority, and getting close to the balls becomes less of a priority. Now the Monster Maker drill. This is a stop shot drill that I put on the internet in April 2019, and this is the last drill I ever put on YouTube. I thought it would do great, but it didn't do great at all, and it was disappointing. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do all this work for just crap views, and you know, a handful of people liked it, and I appreciate that, but it was just too much work for not enough reward. So I stopped putting all drill videos on YouTube. So the place I'm playing here, they won't let you put stickers on the tables to mark, you know, where the balls are supposed to go. So I couldn't do that. So I used the corner of the chalk to just make a quick X. And then when I'm done doing this, I just brush off all the X's and all the chalk. And that's what you see me doing here. And the basic layout for this is right here. You probably already saw. And they're all stop shots. It's a whole layout of 9 balls, and every single shot is a stop shot. You're never hitting a row during this whole exercise. So this is a great drill. The first time you do it, it's going to be a little tedious to set it up, and that's the problem with most drills. They take too long to set up. So anyway, here it is. I'll show you me running now. I think I get bad on one ball here, but it's all good. Other than the JD drill and the Brumback drill, both of which I'll do before a match, or when I'm walking into a pool room I never played in, or a pool table I never played on, I don't do any of that anymore. And I'm going to recommend something, and some people out there are going to say don't do that. But they're telling you that because they think they're right, but they're wrong, and they're not hearing the whole story. Throw all 9 balls out on the table, right? And go ahead and proceed to run them out. And the minute you get offline, stop it. Don't go any further. Instead of shooting a shot that you shouldn't be shooting in the first place, go back in the rack a little bit and figure out where you got bad shape. And it's not always at the ball before where you got bad shape on another ball. It's very often 3 and even 4 balls back. So stop and throw all other balls off the table. Just stick them in their pockets and just focus on those 4 balls. Alright, so you got bad shape on the 6 ball. But you liked where you got on the 5. So then set up the 5 ball shot and practice getting right shape on the 6. And just keep practicing over and over and over until you do it right 10 times in a row and you get where you need to be on the 6. But don't stop thinking right there. Go back to the 4 ball and say, well, maybe there's an easier way to do this. So let's get different shape on the 4 ball to get right here and less of an angle on the 5. So now we got to shoot the 3, the 4, and the 5 over again and try to come up with a much easier way to get position on that 6. And usually it's playing into the 6 ball line. Not always, but very often it is. So now reshoot the 3 to get a different position on the 4 to get a totally different position on the 5 to play into the line on the 6. So, you know, if you throw all 9 balls out and you run them out, perfect, great. Stick the video on YouTube. But even if you just get a little bit out of line, that's what you need to focus on. That's what you need. You need to just stop playing, forget about the run out, and just focus on getting right. That's it. That's how I practice. And people do this, they'll throw all 9 balls out on the table, and they'll run them out and they'll get bad shape on the ball. Let's use 6 for an example. And then they'll shoot a wild shot and they'll make the 6, but they'll get even worse position on the 7 because it hit another object ball. And they cut the cue ball loose. And that'll be it. They'll throw the balls they made back out on the table and they'll try running in a different rack. So it all just becomes a waste of time. You're not keying in on your mistakes. And if they do anything, they'll practice the 6 ball shot where they were out of line on the 6 ball, when they should be going back to the 5, the 4, and the 3 to see why they got out of line on the 6 ball. So if you go out and you practice and you never key in on those mistakes and fix them and adjust it, it's just you're basically wasting your time. Now, all of this assumes that all of your basics are correct, right? And your stroke is straight. So if you're a brand new player or a player who's been playing under 2 years, I recommend making sure all of your basics from your grip, your stance, your alignment, your bridge, everything, all the very basics of pool, and going back and perfecting them. Right? And once you have them perfected, to focus on the straightness of your stroke. Okay? Once you're sure your basics are right and your stroke is straight, then go on to throwing all 9 balls out on the table, running them out and stopping the presses as soon as you get bad position on any ball on the table. Then put the rest of the balls in the pockets and just key in on those 4 balls. Alright? You with me? Have a great weekend. Drop and give me 50, boy.